When we have simultaneous equations and one of them is not linear, for instance, it could be a quadratic, we need to solve by using substitution, and that's what we're doing today. When one of the equations is nonlinear, you cannot use the elimination method because you can't add or subtract none-like terms. We must use the substitution method. Let's work our way through these questions. In this question, we need to substitute the y plus 7 into the quadratic. We can then expand the brackets and form a quadratic equation. We can then solve the quadratic equation and then substitute the y values into our first equation to find the corresponding x values. Quadratic simultaneous equations will normally have two pairs of solutions. We're going to start this question by rearranging the linear equation to get x equals. So we're going to add y to both sides, and then we're going to divide by 2 both sides. We can then substitute this into the quadratic, and we need to expand those brackets, and then we can form a quadratic. We can then solve the quadratic and find both the values for y and substitute that in to our equation that we formed as x equals, for instance, and then we can find the values for x. This will give us our two solutions. This question is asking us to round to 3 significant figures, so chances are we will need the quadratic formula at some point in this, which will make things a bit more interesting. We're going to start by making our linear equation, which is our top one, as x equals. So we take away the 4y both sides, divide by 3. Going to substitute that into our second equation as x, and expand the brackets, and then form ourselves a nice quadratic. Wow, these are big numbers. You could try and factorize that. I'm going to let you into a secret. If it asks you for your answer in surd form or to round it to 3 significant figures, it's not going to factorize. So let's get our quadratic formula down and put in the numbers. And we find our two solutions are 4.94 blah 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 and 2.09 blah blah blah. Now the reason why I've not rounded them yet is because we need to find out what x is. So do not round them until we found the x value as well. So we're going to find the x value by putting the y into the green equation on the left hand side, and we find that x is these two values here. Now we can round them both and we can leave them as our answers. If you were to try and solve x plus 2y equals 10 and x squared plus y squared equals 12, you'd find that they don't have any real solutions. What do you think this tells you about their graphs? If you think you know, write it in the comments below. And you can also come to onmaths.com or click the link in the description where you can access all our free A-level papers and predictions, and you can even save your scores with a free account. This video is part of a larger A-level course you can follow along with at onmaths.com.